Invisibility, one of our all-time favorite topics. A lot of people have asked us in the past, and I think you'll back me up on this, if you could have any superpower, what would you have? A lot of people pick invisibility, but not a lot of people know how it works. Steve?
That's right. Well, you know, invisibility is, it's actually a complicated science, and it would take a lot of time to actually explain the intricacies of invisibility. But the fact that we live in an age where invisibility has been engineered and is readily available to anyone, including criminals, rapers,
should we do a new one every time we laugh?
yeah.
It's a beautiful time in every biological man and woman's life where they exit the stage of childhood, adolescence, and they go into the stage of adulthood, usually through coming in their pants. Steve?
Coming of age. Well, when that place blew up, it was... I can't believe all those Oompa Loompas died.
Damn. Damn. Damn.
Charlie ran that thing into the ground.
Charlie ran that thing into the... He opened the gates that were supposed to remain closed.
Let's stick on this one for a second.
Okay.
I think Charlie ran that one into the ground, if I'm being honest. Not to be the controversial guy, but I truly believe that when Charlie was given the keys to this magical kingdom, which, by the way, I thought was not ethical.
No, Charlie was an absentee father to the chocolate factory.
Agreed.
They put him in the Wonkavator, boom, out of the roof, shattered the glass ceiling, which no one talks about how Charlie, a little man boy, was the first one to do that, and then he never came back. And no one saw Charlie in the Wonkavator until the end of the Cloverfield.
I think Willy Wonka killed him. Charlie really was never the same after Grandpa Joe died. And I'll never forget.
Well, which one? Because he said that he died and then he was lying 2 or 3 times. He faked his own death 2 or 3 times.
Well, when he finally did die, because he had put Charlie through so much, it was tragic. Yeah. It was tragic because it was like, you know, Charlie was like, you know, this carefree chocolatier, and his grandpa fell into the chocolate and they cooked him right up.
Did you ever see the documentary?
Where he cooked up his...
Steve, I know that you used to be world-class gymnast. Do you want to... Just graciously passing it on. Steve actually won a gold medal in Lithuania for gymnastics.
I did.
I believe it was a floor routine. Steve?
Yeah, well, you know, it was a different time. You know, we did a lot of illegal moves back then.
That's when you were able to say a bunch of things during your routine that you couldn't get away with. Like what?
Well, I used to say really bad words.
Well, that you did the routine where you have to hold the ball and you can't drop the ball, but you wrote something on the ball. What was that?
It was the F word, and I'm not talking about fuck. Well, you know, my brother and I designed the world's fastest water slide. Let me try again. Well, my brother and I designed the world's fastest water slide, as you know. What's that?
Was that right?
That is right. Yeah, we did. And because we would go on water slides in the summer and be like, these things don't go fast tall.
You have to be this small to go down a water slide.
They're not fast. And so we were like, how do we boost this up? I want Mama's wig to fly off.
And you're actually incredibly modest when you talk about your family's legacy with water slides, because not only did Steve and his brother invent the fastest water slide in the continental United States, but also the wettest. And how'd you pull that one off?
Well, we're soaking you to the bones.
That was the tagline. I remember.
The entire time. Yeah, it's a spooky slide. There's skeletons in there, and there's 2 or 3 Draculas.
And you guys got in trouble for using real Draculas?
Well, we There was a little controversy because we did have real Draculas.
And ever since then, you haven't seen a real Dracula.
Well, one of the 3 Draculas was real. And I remember my brother asked me, why do you want so many Draculas in the ride?
Why do you want so many Draculas in the fastest?
Yeah. So
people missed the first 2.
Originally, there were 8 Draculas in the ride. 8 different Draculas.
And only one of them was real.
One of them was a fake out. You think it's real?
Saliva keeps all of us alive. It's a little joke that me and my science teacher used to have. But it is the liquid that forms in your mouth to make sure your teeth can swim. Swimming makes you nice and strong. And that's how your teeth keep in your mouth.
Where'd you go to school?
I didn't. I was hoping that we didn't get that far in the conversation. Saliva also helps your throw up come out. Before you throw up, a lot of times you'll notice an excess of saliva in your mouth. It's like a welcome party for your throw up. The liquid in your stomach, obviously lonely in your stomach, the liquid in your mouth says, hey, come up here, hang out with us, and then it come out.
It's like a little warning system, isn't it?
It is. It certainly is.
And the truth is that it really is meant to lubricate the inside of your mouth and your throat so that the stomach acids don't harm your throat.
Yes, that's 100% true. It's also a good lubricant for a bunch of other things. The good people at Jiffy Lube, before they discovered fossil fuels, were spitting into people's cars to make sure engine pistons run nice. Mm-hmm. Also help a plant grow.
They do. Plants do love spit, don't they?
Yeah, some of them will even ask for it. You ever spit into a Venus flytrap? It's fascinating.
I've spit onto a penis flytrap.
Is that right?
Spit is actually not a good sexual lubricant, I read on the internet last night.
And what did they say about that? What are the reasons?
Well, it's just not, there's, bacteria and...
What is the preferred sexual lubricant if not saliva?
It's like milk. Well, in his new movie, he went to the sun. And he had to train to do that. Mike, what did he do? He did hot yoga.
He turned up the heat in his apartment for 3 whole days.
Which is crazy.
Kept turning it up for 3 days. And then he lived in that, what it was set on, for a week and a half. Mm-hmm. And when a lot of people said, that's a great start, but the sun is literally millions of times hotter than that, he decided he was out. And then I think Christopher Guest took over.
Well, he said, if the sun is million times more hot. Oh, he was awesome to work with.
Yeah.
He was bonkers.
Also kind of a dream come true. They say don't meet your heroes, but you see someone you grew up with as a child is sitting in the corner of the room crying, you're going to go up to him and ask what's wrong. I'm sorry. You see your hero in the corner of the room.
Why? Yeah, you never want to see they say don't meet your heroes, never meet your heroes, but they also say don't look at your heroes while they're crying. Ronald McDonald gets angry on the set.
That is actually true. Yeah. One day he got super duper pissed. I believe Steve, right when the director said action, we're shooting a commercial, Steve accidentally stepped on a ketchup packet that I had put underneath his, wearing Doc Martens at the time.
Normally Ronald loves those jokes. Like he'll I remember one time he pulled a gun on Mike.
As a joke.
And he said, I own you, and then it said, just kidding.
Yeah.
And that was, he liked to fuck around.
Yeah, and then I said, I'll get him back by putting the ketchup packet under your boot.
Yeah.
And he did not like that at all.
He just loved it. Well, he loved to do pranks. Like one time he punched me in the face while I was taking a shit. He busted right in.
I do remember that.
He broke the stall door and punched me. I've never seen someone as angry. I was really scared. He ended up running over my dog after the shoot because he was so pissed off and he wanted to get back at me, I guess.
And I remember you waited so long for them to make that dog.
Yeah, it was pretty fucked up.
Okay.
Didn't you say you liked him? You said he was great to work with.
Yeah, until he fucking killed my dog.
He actually liked all the other stuff that happened.
It was awesome until he killed my dog. Well, you know, working for the U.S. government, you know, and I know we have permission to talk about this because this is for in-house use.
You could tell him the declassified.
Well, the declassified stuff is that yes, we did definitely torture like 3 or 4 babies and a doctor. One doctor, I tortured a doctor actually.
One of the babies was set to become a doctor. He was on track. Do you remember how we tortured the baby?
Yeah, well, I remember how we tortured the doctor.
Right.
Because the way we tortured the baby is we shot it. People don't realize the engineering, the construction, the rapers, everything that goes into making an elevator work.
Everyone who goes into an elevator makes it work.
Everyone trusts the elevator. I tortured a whole family once. Right at the same time.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And how'd you do that?
I gave them, I was like, you guys want popcorn? And they're like, yeah, that sounds good. And then we pumped a bunch of popcorn smell into the room like popcorn was coming. And then we never brought them.
Human beings were meant to stay on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay? We weren't meant, let's say human beings live their entire existence here. Born, grow up, go through adolescence, go through puberty on the ground. Human beings were never supposed to be here.
No.
Let alone...
No. Imagine going back in time. Okay?
We had the room with the Thompson family, and then a one-sided mirror, and then in the other room we were eating popcorn.
Watching it in silence, eating popcorn.
And they could kind of smell it.
They could hear some people crunching popcorn. Imagine going back in time and going up to someone and saying, guess what? If you want to go up there, in the future, we're going to have things, a box that will take you up there.
And you have to trust implicitly that when you step out of that box, you're going to be
up there. Potentially up there. And imagine telling that to someone from like, I don't know, 100 years ago.
1987.
Imagine telling someone that. Yeah.
In 1987, they could be on the second floor of a building.
Imagine that. Imagine that.
I tortured an ex-girlfriend of mine once. And the statute of limitations has lifted, so I don't feel bad talking about it, but she loved Bruce Springsteen. And so what I would do is I'd play the first 3 seconds of Born in the USA, and then I'd shut it off and just look at her until she left the house.
And you know, the coolest thing about new elevator technology is that, you know, sometimes we have some tricksters coming in. And they'll come in and they'll press every single button. You know, like they're playing some kind of keyboard game.
Human loves to press a button.
They love a button. You put a button in front of a human and you leave them alone in a room and they're gonna press it.
Hey, if you ever need something pressed, put it in the form of a button and put it in front of a human.
And put it in front of a human and then see what happens. So with the latest elevator technology, what we've done is we've electrified those buttons.
That's 100% right, Steve.
Those buttons are electrified now.
And they'll give you quite a shock if you hit more than one.
If you press more than one of those buttons by accident, you're going to get shocked.
Even if you pressed one and that wasn't the floor that you were trying to go to, maybe you pressed 23 instead of 22, you will get shocked. It will stop your heart. You shouldn't have made that mistake.
Give it a try.
And that's a lesson in kind of thinking before you act.
Go ahead and call the cops.
Go call the cops, see if they come.
Call the cops and see if they give a fuck.
Call Ronald McDonald, see if that freak shows up.
Why don't you get stuck in one of our elevators, call the cops, and see if they give a fuck. And the cops don't give a fuck.
Cops don't give a fuck.
The cops don't give a fuck.
I
dude.
dare you to make a cop give a fuck about
You think
an
these
elevator.
cops give a fuck?
Okay, we have 32 babies in the room. The loudspeakers
Quiet down,
are on.
please. All right, let's see how the results of that go. Take down some notes there. Yeah. 372 looks like he didn't like that at all.
372 seems upset.
372 was pissed. You think these 3 cops here give a fuck?
Go up to a cop today and say, do you even give a fuck
Do you even give a fuck?
if I died?
Oh, that one almost started dancing.
Almost started dancing for
That's 431.
31. Almost.
Almost dancing.
Almost started
Almost
dancing.
started dancing.
How can you look at
I
something?
almost started dancing.
Okay.
What happened over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
1, yeah.